and let's talk about today's buy now sell now. On the Lens segment, what we are going to talk about, and we are going to talk about two private sector banks, Axis Bank as well as ICICI Bank. Both of them have come out with their Q3 earnings, a strong set of numbers. If you look at Axis Bank, is actually reacting to its numbers today. It's higher by about 4.7% as we speak currently. ICICI Bank, on the other hand, is actually trading with a tad or bit of a negative bias. My colleague Harsh is here to take us through exactly how are the earnings for both ICICI Bank as well as Harsh. Take it away.
Well, quarter three has seen private sector banks really taking charge with regard to both growth as well as performance. Let's talk about ICICI Bank first. Net interest income going up 23.5% year on year. Core operating profit up 25% year on year, breaching that 10,000 crore mark. PAT up 25.5% almost on a year on year basis. When we look at gross and net NPAs, they were down. Net NPAs, in fact, down to now 0.85%, 14 bips improvement in net NPAs, clearly trending towards HDFC Bank. And when we look at what brokerages have to say on ICICI, well, CLSA having a target price of 1195, Kotak having 975, and Motilal having 1100 rupees a share, giving an upside of 25 to 30% each. Also, the other performer yesterday has been Axis Bank, which grew NII by 17%, PPOP also by 17%, and PAT by a massive 223%, all three on a year-on-year basis. And GNPAs and NNPAs trended lower. GNPAs were down 36 basis points on a quarter-on-quarter basis, and NPAs down 17 basis points on a quarter-on-quarter basis. And similar commentary from brokerages. 1,000 rupees broadly is what the target price is at, 50% upside. So strong set of commentary as well as numbers from both these banks when we look at it in quarter three.
Thank you so much for that, Harsh, for taking us through the earnings for Axis Bank as well as ICICI Bank. If you look at the way how the numbers have panned out, both of them have reported a decline in their NPAs, and PAT and NII is above street estimates. Let me bring on board our experts for today, Kunal Bothra and Saurabh Jain. Good morning, Saurabh. Good morning, Kunal, to you as well. Saurabh, coming to you, how do you view both of these banks, ICICI Bank as well as Axis Bank? We've been talking about how we'll see a sectoral rotation from IT onto the banks. Do you think that these both actually fit in well in that particular context?
I think with the rising interest rate scenario and withdrawal of accommodation, there is a clear shift from growth to value, and the banking sector is expected to perform in 2022. Having said that, if you look at the numbers, both ICICI has clearly surprised the street in the last few quarters. The net NPAs are down. I mean, they are down consecutively for many quarters. The business growth is growing. Business is growing more than 17-18%. Net NPAs are down, provision coverage ratios are good. So we expect that in the next 2 quarters, we see approximately 920 or 950 kind of a target on ICICI Bank. Axis Bank, on the other hand, also surprised in the sense that the business growth came at a very good pace. And it is actually they surpassed the guidance given by the Amitabh Chaudhary. I mean, he was very categorical saying that it will take 3-4 quarters to for the Axis Bank to to come to the par the way ICICI Bank is doing. But I think they are very much on that line. So we expect approximately 850 target in the next 2 quarters.
Okay. Kunal, I'll come to you for a quick view on the two banks. Which of the two would you prefer, or would you prefer both of them in the context of the larger banking space?
First, on the larger banking space, of course, you have to be bullish on the banking stocks, given the context of the rally these stocks have seen and the correction in the previous quarter for many of the banking names. But then comparatively between Axis Bank and ICICI, I think Axis Bank, is a bit of an underperformer, because if you look at it relatively, so I've marked up 2 important points. One is the major previous high of October, for Axis Bank, that was around 840, 850 mark. And then relative to that, you look at the 2 consecutive, tops which the stock had made, and both of them are relatively lower as compared to the next chart, which is for the ICICI Bank. Now, when you look at the charts for ICICI Bank, the stock made a high closer to 860 plus in the month of October. and then corrected and then bounced back towards almost 830, 835 for itself. So the bounce back in ICICI Bank was far more stronger as compared to Axis Bank, which is why I believe relatively ICICI Bank can be a big outperformer.
Okay. All right. That's the view on ICICI Bank and Axis Bank. Stay with us, Jen.